Yo, what up guys, Robbie Row here. So wanting to talk about the breakdown that I'm seeing a lot of times with guys that try and force a drive of their drive leg, which in turn gives them this kind of jumping sensation. Okay, so we see a lot of elevated hips is what I would call like the breakdown, going down into your drive phase, and then at the last second when now you're internally rotating, you think about driving and pushing, because that's that sense of power, right, that you're feeling. Because if we were to like jump is power, you press, right? So I think a lot of people misinterpret the actual mechanics of efficient drive leg, where we're not driving and jumping, we are dropping and essentially allowing our internal rotation to occur naturally, and this ankle will roll over. So I've been trying to come up with like some progressions. I think first and foremost, you need to kind of understand and grasp the mechanics of it. As I mentioned, it's not that, right? Like you're kind of doing a skater jump. It's drop and drive. So I think one common breakdown we see with guys that do get into that pattern, besides the actual misunderstanding of the mechanics, is a limited amount of internal rotation of the hips. So if you're limited on internal rotation, your lead leg is now going to pull this into internal early. And then if you lack a ton of internal, then instead of really just allowing that movement to occur naturally, your body's going to say, well, we're restricted there. And then that's when you'll see maybe a elevated drive leg and then come down. So we need to first and foremost make sure that we grasp the understanding of the mechanics and what it's supposed to look like and feel like. Two, make sure that we check the box from a movement standpoint. We have internal rotation for that to occur naturally. So something like simple 90-90, right? So if I'm a right-handed, I mean, you're going to do this both sides anyway, but make sure that we can do a simple kind of 90-90 hip box, right? So now lead leg goes, you try to maintain distance from your knees, and then you simply get into a hip box here. Now you're straight up, you're going to feel a ton of pressure, and then go back to this side. Boom. So I have a ton of stuff on hip mobility, but it's as simple as just making sure that we have the movement capacity to be able to do that efficiently. And then I think that's when it comes time to now blend drills together. First one I would say is kind of like a simple box drill. I don't have a high enough box. I don't recommend you have a low box like this, because then you will kind of get into a bad like pushing up pattern. But if you have a lower or a higher box, that'd be great. But all we're trying to do is get you kind of into your max range from a drop standpoint, and then now we're just trying to get you to go forward, right? So preset like this, you have to elevate a little bit, but you're gonna stay in that same hip posture, boom, and now you're gonna move forward, right? Lateral or linear towards your target. You can do a ton of different variations with that. You can do like regular leg lift, down, touch the box, and then go forward. Again, hips, especially on a flat ground, maintaining that posture, right? Trying not to elevate. And this is something, again, you got to take video of, making sure you're holding yourself accountable. And then a really simple throw variation one that you can do is either a reverse lunge throw or a curtsy lunge throw. So reverse lunge throw, you're just here, if your partner's there, your wall's there, whatever, you just get up out of this reverse lunge and then get to that point of your drive. This is where body awareness is extremely crucial, because you need to understand where your drive is from a hips posture standpoint. So you get up out of this, boom, if that's my drive there, I hold that and then I just move linear, okay? Same thing with the curtsy. Instead of having this leg out here and then going up this way, now we're going to take our direction linear. So in a curtsy lunge kind of, and then the same thing, you're going to elevate out of this, but then you're going to get in that posture of your hips and you're going to move forward, right? So again, I'm not saying that those three things are going to 100% fix it. It's more depending on the individual, but one, first thing, understand the mechanics of it, right? It's not a push off and elevate. It's a drop, essentially drive or move, and then, right? Understand that. 2, check the box from a movement standpoint. Do you have solid hip internal rotation, right? Can you get into a 90-90 and then hold this kind of posture over here? I mean, honestly, my internal rotation sucks. So if I hold this, it's really gonna start going, but this is good, this is what we want. Breathe through it, start training those internal rotations. 3 drill progressions. I think obviously the best drill progression would be find a way to give you slope feedback. I don't know how I would do it back here, but if there's a way that you can kind of manipulate a slope, right? So then you can start high and go down. I guess that would be pretty decent right there, right? Just to get the mechanics of the slope. Here, let's do this. Put it up against this wall, start high, boom, right? Boom. Or, here's a good one. Again, these are more feedback dry reps. So again, I wish my box was higher, but it's not, so we grind. If you want to go box behind, fumble rooski, and then go lead leg, crossover, elevated, and then just go boom. So now this gives you a sense of falling, right? We don't want to fall, but if we're going to overemphasize that feeling, I guess you can get something from this. Yeah. Well, and then be creative on your own. Maybe you'll come up with something better than I will.